Part 1C. Rainforests act as natural fire suppressants in the landscape, and we can take a lot of inspiration from them to create a firewise home garden. Here in East Gippsland, we are really lucky because it's the only region of Victoria where highland cool temperate rainforests and lowland warm temperate rainforests overlap. Rainforest guru Bill Peel, who used to be a member of our Landcare group, says, "Small, precious and unique, they represent the remaining small and precious jewels of a once more widespread and magnificent rainforest estate." How are rainforests different from other forests? Rainforests are much shadier than eucalypt forests because more than 70% of the light is intercepted by the upper canopy, reducing the number of plants on the forest floor. They possess a moist microclimate which promotes abundant soil microbes, decomposition and nutrient recycling. All this means there is less flammable plant material on the forest floor. And rainforests contain many other fire-reducing features, such as plants with low volatile oils in their leaves, trees with non-flammable bark, thick canopies protecting from ember attack and strong winds. Thus, in most normal fire events, fire only bites into the margins of rainforests because these features slow the rate of fire spread and decrease fire intensity. All these features make rainforest plants perfect additions to a firewise garden. And here is one such rainforest plant on our list: muttonwood, Mersini howittiana. And another beauty, blue oliveberry, Eleocarpus reticulatus, also known as fairy aprons because of its stunning flowers. And most of us are familiar with lily pillies, Acmena smithii, which of course make a good hedge. After the fires swept through Ferrydale in East Gippsland, the lily pillies still had green leaves on them. But despite the rarity of rainforests, unfortunately, in Lakes Entrance and Kalimna, residents have been seen removing remnant patches around their properties because of fire fear or dubiously to improve their views. These threatened littoral rainforest areas are home to 15 of Victoria's rare fauna species, such as the sooty owl. What these residents don't know is that the only thing they are improving when they clear rainforest is their fire risk. It is also highly illegal. If you're lucky enough to have a rainforest patch on your place, you may hear the distinctive call of the rare sooty owl. So considering its beauty, increasing rarity, and all the firewise features, why not protect a patch of rainforest around your home? On your farm, you could fence remnant rainforest to protect it from stock. Or why not grow yourself a little rainforest garden at your place? And that is exactly what this family did. Here is their beautiful home in Clifton Creek. They love the bush and are surrounded by it on their 90-acre property. Despite being surrounded by forest on all sides, their home survived when the black summer fires raged around them for 6 hours. Take note of the deliberately planted rainforest green firewall seen in front of the women enjoying a Landcare event. Did this rainforest garden survive the hours of fire surrounding the property? Yes, it did. Its survival was helped by the huge quantities of rainwater stored in non-flammable tanks and the sprinklers wetting the property the entire time. As you can see, there was also short green lawn planted in the defendable space in front of the house. What we found extraordinary when we interviewed the family was they told us, for the 6 hours that the fires burned around them, the frogs in their water-misted rainforest garden kept calling. Parents are known as maniacal cackle frogs, and this is why. This photo was taken after the fire. Note the burnt forest in the background. I want to point out that clever landscape design also helped to defend the house, such as the building of protective walls around the garden, as can be seen here, as well as gravelled areas and concrete paths in the defendable space. This family demonstrated thoughtful fire preparedness, harnessing the intelligence of nature and working with it in a sensitive way. So now you know that East Gippsland is home to a variety of plants with low flammability. If you incorporate these plants into a garden and combine this with smart landscape design, you get a fire-wise garden. We can help you do this if you download the brochure from the East Gippsland Landcare website or the Lakes Entrance Community Landcare website with tips and design principles. For example, clever landscape design can increase building survival during bushfires, as we just saw in Clifton Creek. Use landscaping to achieve Principle 1. Create defendable space near your house. For paths and driveways, use gravel, brick, concrete, or non-combustibles. Mulch. Used crushed rock or pebbles, not straw or wood chips when possible. Mulch carried fire and embers to houses in the Victorian Black Saturday fires. Locate pools, frog bogs, dams and ponds between your house and the likely fire front. Fences. Replace wooden or brush fences with metal or brick. Earth banks and stone walls can be used as firewise landscape features. We can use garden design to achieve Firewise Principle 2. Break up fuel continuity by separating garden areas with mown lawn or succulent living mulches, by creating islands of vegetation, by not planting shrubs under trees. Stately mature trees are irreplaceable and often give a garden its unique charm. So for existing mature trees, break up fuel continuity by pruning individual trees to prevent the canopy from overlapping another tree. Groups of trees can remain together but separated from other groups in islands. And remove low branches from large trees to 2 metres above the ground so there is no fuel ladder. Principle 3. Thoughtfully place, space and care for plants. Near the house, choose firewise plants if possible, and only use low-growing species such as ground covers, succulents or salt bushes. Prune any branches that overhang the house from outside your property. When planting new trees, space trees at least 1.5 times their mature height away from the house. Plant trees apart to allow at least 2 metres between mature canopies. And always follow CFA guidelines within 10 metres of the home. Principle 3 continued. Thoughtfully care for your plants. Garden maintenance is crucial. Even if you have carefully selected firewise vegetation, it's important to trim and remove dead material in the lead up to fire season. Capture and direct rainwater. Keep lawns and gardens well watered and green in summer. Do this by having an independent water source, for example rainwater tanks. All experts agree that watering greatly enhances the firewise properties of plants, as extreme weather is pushing species to their limits. And consider installing a fire sprinkler system. We cannot stress this point strongly enough. There are some surprisingly affordable Aussie-made, high-quality retrofit systems. And get a dedicated rainwater tank and pump system for sprinklers and firefighting. brochure, along with the Firewise plant list, you will find some Gippsland native plant nurseries on the back. Locally grown plants from locally sourced seed are best in order to maintain genetic integrity. But if you can't source plants locally, specialty nurseries such as Karanga in outer Melbourne have a huge range of Indigenous plants. If you're still feeling a bit nervous about what to choose for your garden, here are some very pretty native fire heroes that are uncontroversial because they're found on most lists. For example, native pigface, white coria, hop gardenia, boobiala, fanflower species, austral indigo, native fuchsia, and the currajong, Brachychiton populnaeus, makes a lovely garden tree and is seen on many Firewise lists. This concludes part 1 of the presentation. We hope we've given you a deeper understanding of this often emotional topic, and that you can now view our beautiful bush and native plants as friends rather than foes. In our own way, we are all land carers, and our attitudes about fire and our resulting actions can either heal the country or harm it. Thank you for listening.